Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy, and today we have to talk about Deathmatch and Overwatch and Team Deathmatch, but mostly it's going to be all about the PTR and the changes coming up. Now, I might make a video in the future talking about the actual balance changes coming to Overwatch potentially, or that are at least on the PTR, because there's some pretty interesting stuff in there, and I definitely have an opinion on that, but I wanted to really focus on Deathmatch. And geez, man, I gotta say, I've been super excited about this mode. I've been playing it pretty much exclusively, minus a few comp games on live servers, since it hit the PTR. And I gotta just bring up the total nostalgia. This is what I really wanted, or it took me a bit to realize this is what I wanted since the start of Overwatch. And I want to go on ahead and touch on that a little bit. You can actually see, I'll probably just put the thumbnail image on the screen here. I was asking for TDM and Deathmatch for a while now, and I think the thought behind that desire to have this type of a game mode, and I think this is worth discussing and kind of sharing this train of thought with everyone that's watching, is I don't think that quick play really has a place in Overwatch. I think over time, and this is maybe something that will actually happen literally, or just something that is going to be more shown behind the scenes in community numbers and playlist numbers and populations and such, but I think quick play is actually useless. I mean, I actually think that. I think quick play is a waste of time. I think that it was fun when it was the only mode in the game, more or less, but now we have so much content to pull from. We have so many different ways to play Overwatch, and while Overwatch is a very simplistic and easy entry kind of type of game, it's not too crazy to get into and understand how to play this, but there's so much here. And I think that's part of what makes it my favorite game, more or less of all time, regardless of how frustrated and how annoyed of the game I can get at times. But if you really look at Overwatch, it's pretty simple. I think going with a hero-based game rather than a class-based type game, not that that was, in the works at all, but I think going with a hero-based game really makes you fall in love with some of your favorite characters, and Blizzard has just done a phenomenal job of universe building and this kind of secretive lore storytelling and this very slow, really prolonged story that they're building. And like I said, I think just in general, and this is only if we're looking at game design and talking about the evolution of lore and story, I think it's really easy to just fall in love with this universe. Now, that said, I brought all this up to say that the game is simple to understand, and there's tons of ways to play it now, and I just don't think quick play matters at all. If you want to play those modes, to me, quick play should be Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch and some of the arcade games. Maybe a playlist of all of the fun arcade games, maybe a voted community voting pool, and it just cycles through those game modes. But what you have in quick play now and what the game modes are in competitive, that's what I like to think of as much more serious, hardcore way of playing it. Because when you go in quick play, there's really just no room for serious play. No one goes in there to build a solid team comp and try to win, and the game mode doesn't cater to playing what you want to play and having fun. But Deathmatch does. And no one's going to get mad at you for your pick. I mean, they might get mad if you're stomping them, playing nothing but McCree or Tracer or being annoying with Pharah or Torbjorn in Deathmatch mode, but guess what? That's your right. You want to win. And that's what I think I love most about it, is this just inability to get frustrated with it on the teamwork aspect of it. And I really haven't played much 4v4 Team Deathmatch, and I definitely need to jump into that more, because I'm sure there are really optimal ways to play that too, which is just really cool. Let's talk about that in itself. That's going to be really cool to find people that take that mode seriously and optimize how you play that. But I'm mostly focusing on Deathmatch because, man, I come from the shooting background. I come from Gears of War and Halo and Call of Duty and Counter-Strike early days. That was one of the first PC games I ever played, but I was a console shooter mostly. I did dabble in Quake and some other first-person shooters on PC as well, but it's just crazy to see how Overwatch is bringing this awesome game type that you can just hop on, play what you want to play, and have fun. Now, the one downside I have to bring up about Deathmatch, because I do think it's worth saying, is that there are going to be some heroes that I think are kind of useless in the mode, and maybe that'll change with different maps. Maybe I don't know. It's just like I've seen some people running around as Lucio and I gotta tell you, they're annoying, they're hard to kill, but they really don't get very high on the scoreboard. So it's gonna be interesting to see how, you know, Lucio and Mercy have any kind of out of value in the deathmatch mode, free-for-all mode, but that's besides the point. I think it's the mode that I think the game needed, at very least, to just have something that can kind of take over quick play. For me, at very least, I think it's the thing that I would rather just hop on and warm up in, or hop on and play for, you know, a good hour, because I'm not trying to play serious competitive, or, you know, I just want to play the hero I want to play without getting flamed or without just wasting my time in quick play. Because make no mistake, from my opinion, playing quick play is a waste of time. Sure, you're practicing your hero, but you're practicing your hero in a scenario that makes no difference. And you sometimes can't even practice your hero because you're so reliant on your team. So I think Deathmatch is awesome. I think it 100% has a place as a casual and as a serious game mode for Overwatch. I can't even begin to tell you how awesome it would be if they added some kind of ranking system for Deathmatch. And I don't know how that would work, because currently they have like the win scenario for Deathmatch is if you're in the top 4. That's pretty wide to me. I think top 3 makes a little bit more sense in my opinion. Maybe even top 2 if we're talking about ranking, but we'll just have to wait and see, because we've seen how they like to do things. They want to test it out, they want to see the community response, they want to make some changes potentially, and then they want to push it further. So I can honestly tell you, I would spend a good amount of time playing ranked deathmatch, and I think it's a fun mode that they said it was never going to happen, and here we are. So pretty awesome to see. So thanks again for checking out this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like. I'm super excited about this hitting the live servers. I can't wait to actually play arcade and get my loot boxes now, because to be honest, I never did before. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We're going to be pushing out content as often as we can, and I'll see you in the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel the fire inside of me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat take you over? You just